My name is Jim Gasior. I'm the Associate Professor of Jazz Studies at the New World School of the Arts. I grew up in a very musical household. My mother was, when she was pregnant with me, she was taking piano lessons and she was practicing hard, and I was just a foot or two away from her, making music literally at the piano. And my father always attributes that to my musical kind of love, and I've just always enjoyed it. I took began piano lessons at the age of 7, but before then, really all my life, remembering just loving to sit at the piano, just make up stuff and improvise, and took lessons all through high school, and became a jazz performance major at the University of Miami. That's when I moved down from New Jersey, where I was raised, and moved down to Miami, Florida, where I now live. I began teaching at New World in the choral division of the high school. I was asked to teach class piano for the vocal students, and there was a sort of a sudden vacancy for someone to run the high school jazz band at New World. It was in October, and I was asked to kind of jump in and direct, and we had a great year that year. We took the jazz band to the Essentially Ellington competition in New York City, won second place that year out of 176 competing bands, and it was a great year, and I was asked to stay, and I came full-time a few years later. We certainly believe in a very performance-based education. Most of the teaching that we do happens in an ensemble context. Most of the teaching that I do happens in an ensemble context. So the teaching is directly involved with teaching performance. Jazz band, we have the high school jazz band 4 days a week, and we have the high school jazz combos, and we also have a college jazz combo as well. And those rehearsals are all taking place literally in the process of making music. From everything from jazz theory to even jazz history can help, and other parts of the curriculum can help augment what the students are learning musically. But really, it's the performances and facilitating those performances and the rehearsals that really keep us moving forward, learning how to play. The high school jazz combo usually performs about 20 times during the year. We also do a tremendous amount of recordings for these students so they can audition for other colleges or for other summer programs, other learning kind of opportunities. And also the recording process is just a tremendous way to kind of look in the mirror, so to speak, for a musician, and to really hear what's going on, with your performances. So the performances and the live performances and the recordings are an essential part of how we manage that and develop that growth. I give a lot of advice to my students. My favorite motto is this trust the process idea, one foot in front of the other. I tell my students to take time for themselves. I think it's built into our DNA that we need a little bit of alone time and a little bit of reflection and a little bit of time to kind of set the rudder. And especially for our high school students, the teenage world is a very kind of noisy, chattering kind of world. Working hard yields results. The students that we have that get into the Brubeck Institute for the summer, or get accepted into the Grammy band in California, or the student that gets a full scholarship to a fantastic college to study in their jazz program. In every case, those students have worked really, really hard. So it's a real live kind of life example that we have here. The students see it. Consistent work yields results.